All right, beautiful. So again, if the audio was bad, I'm just going to kind of start back from the beginning. Apologies about that. Don't know what it was, but every now and then those things happen. Falco says we lost you at Adobe completely. Gotcha. So everything else, I was just talking to myself. No big deal. No big deal. All right, minimize this. Minimize this. Let's roll. So I'll just go back to kind of the beginning, just in case the audio was bad for any of my recording students as well. Here's what we got. On SPY, we made a little bit of a lower low and a lower high today. And my overall thought on this one is going to be pretty simple. This very well, like I mentioned yesterday, could turn up to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And we bounce from here. So I am looking for a morning star reversal or a bullish candle to come in tomorrow. That's very plausible. Don't know if it will or will not, but of course, you know, time will tell. Now, if we get a bullish candle tomorrow and, you know, we trade sideways and then end up breaking down, then on Thursday, Friday, tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yep, so Thursday, Friday could be a nice bearish move. So I'm really looking for probably a small bullish day tomorrow, best case scenario, and then from there, we either morning star and bounce out of here, or we just break through and go lower. So that's really it. That's the SPY, and the Qs are kind of the same. So here's the Qs. The Qs a little bit weaker today. So a little bit of a lower low. This gap is now entirely filled on the Qs. So both of these gaps are entirely filled, which we talked about was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. We were very confident it was going to happen, and it did happen. So here on the weekly chart with the Qs, you got a little bit of a bearish candle pattern, which is a rest after battle. I'm thinking, you know, again, worst case scenario, we could trade it down to that 100 simple on a weekly chart, which if we hit that on the Qs, we'll definitely be hitting that on the SPY. And yeah, right now we're just a little bearish, a little bit of a bearish candle. Again, here's that hourly chart that we were looking at, and the hourly time frame on the Qs. Just kind of expecting probably a little bit of a pop tomorrow. Maybe we get back up to 169, probably a breakdown. Again, if we don't end bullish tomorrow, it's a pretty high degree of certainty, I think, that we're going to continue a little bit lower. So that's the Qs. That's kind of the broader markets, and that's really just about it. I mean, we're going to have a lot more details tomorrow, obviously, but all is well. So the one I was doing is I was just going to work backwards. Is what I was doing. So here's Adobe, ADBE. So this is where everyone said they lost me. So pretty much just getting right back caught up, no big deal, no worries. My analysis on Adobe was absolute chopzilla in here. All kinds of craziness going on. The cool news is if you're an active trader and you're trading shares or even options, you might be making a really good trade, some good trades on Adobe. Because down here, the last time we looked at Adobe was over here. And I said, hey, if you're looking at playing it bullish from the 200 to the 100, good for you. And that actually did work. That was a nice little bounce. You're really playing those most likely off the hourly or the 15 or some type of time frame like that. So here's the hourly chart. And the hourly chart, you can just see we're just really trading sideways. So are we at a buy zone? Yes, we are. The daily chart is a nice, bullish, perfect inside day candle, perfect, with increased volume. So that tells me if we break lower, it's going to get a little rough. So the note on the screen is a close below 231.62. And if I was in some shares, I would be buying some protection. That's just, again, me personally. So that's Adobe, and let's go look at American Airlines. So American Airlines, my analysis was pretty much, we did close above the 100 today, which is good. I like that. We do have a retest candle or retest gap on American Airlines. So there's the retest. This is a double bottom pattern. So boom, 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 boom. And we kind of retest the neckline down here. So you got a little bit of a bounce there. Volume increase today. So Mr. Squiggles is just anticipating possible little retracement, a little bit of a flash lower into the moving averages, and then hopefully continuation higher. You'll notice over here, we have broken above those 100 moving averages before. So we've gotten up above those prices once before, and we could be doing that again. The weekly moving averages, I mean, you got long terms are kind of forever away. Your exponential moving averages, you're battling the 20. So this is a fun battleground. We'll see how we close, but last time we broke above it, didn't really have an issue. So I'm kind of hoping the same thing occurs because we do have a bullish swing trade open and active and trading higher on Delta. At one point in the day, this trade looked really nice. So far, it's like, So that's definitely not a very bullish candle. I would like it to go a little bit higher, but at this particular moment in time, it doesn't look like it will. Here's the weekly moving averages. So our stop is below the 10 and the 20 on the weekly. And the monthly chart, the moving average is actually 54.89, and our stop is 54.60, I believe. 54.60. So we have a little bit of a move, and I like that monthly moving average there. So I'm just kind of hoping that we're going to hang out, maybe retrace into the 50 EMA on the hourly, and then continue higher. Falco says on American Airlines, he's looking at the hourly 37.34 by 34.74. 34.74, excellent stop. And I think you can get it lower than 37.34. I would say the highest I would buy it is 37.08. So I think you can drop that entry just a little bit and see if you can snag a little bit of a cheaper price. Mr. Squiggle says 36.73. We'll see. But yeah, I think you can just drop it by pennies, but I do like that stop. Nice, nice. Here's NVDA, and I've got asked a few times if I still have this put sale on NVIDIA. I do. So still at the put sale, it's a 170. Last time we looked at NVIDIA, we sensed a little bit of weakness with this pattern breaking down over here. So this was kind of like this double top pattern that was obviously a very pretty S-curve. So breakdown, trade higher, really nice rollover. And if you took this particular trade, bearish at 203, stop at 212, you were able to get an hour-and-a-half yesterday. And yeah, earnings around the corner on NVIDIA. So let's see what happens. I mean, here's your weekly chart, and the weekly chart, right, we just traded right down to the 100 simple on a weekly yesterday. I was looking at NVIDIA most of the day yesterday. For those in the morning room, you might remember, I was looking at NVIDIA for an afternoon day trade and never really found one and ended up taking a trade on Square. But I do like this little retest, and that's pretty much about it. So that's NVDA, off of the level. So what's happening now is this is a morning star. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase. This is a one white soldier candle. It might be forming a morning star. It is a double bottom. Let's find out what happens on earnings. So John C has a naked call at 2:30 for November. That's this Friday that his expires. George has a 280, 150 naked strangle for December. I got the 170 put sale for December. A few other traders have that one as well. And earnings not too far in the distant future. Okay, that's NVDA. Let's go look at AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. So AMD had a decent little pullback today and is hanging out. So as long as we don't close below 1606, AMD is going to be moderately on the bullish side, in my opinion. Here's the hourly chart, and I actually kind of like this hourly pattern because this is, in my opinion, a no-brainer short if it takes out this support. This is a head and shoulders pattern on AMD. Now, I'm not saying it has to head and shoulders, right? I actually personally think it's going to bounce higher. I'm just saying, if it does break that low, I would be a little on the bearish side on AMD if we take out that support. So let me open up this. Might become a weekly options newsletter. I was looking at Micron as well. Again, trying to get that R back. Try to get this mustache off, which won't happen until the end of November anyway. So AMD, very nice little head and shoulders pattern. We'll see if it breaks down. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Brian has got some put sales. Brad's got a covered call for November, which is this Friday. And that's really my thoughts on AMD. That's it. Okay, next on the list, we got ourselves JD.cab. So JD hanging out, and we're chilling. It's at 22.39. Remember that this protective put, if you have it, expires this Friday. So you're going to want to sell it before then because it is and might close in the money. So if you have a $23 protective put and it closes in the money, that means that you will sell your shares at 23. So just keep that in mind. And that's really it. I mean, that's really all I got on JD. It's trying to form a double bottom, similar to NVDA and the rest. I mean, it's doing its absolute best. So if obviously earnings cause this thing to gap down, JD is going to have a nice bearish run for a little bit into the teens. And then from there, we'll see if and when she bounces. It'll be a decently fun bearish move if we gap down on earnings. I don't think we do, but you never know. You never know. So my plan on JD to at this particular point, since well, I don't know about most of us, but I have the leaps, those January 2020, and right now you can't really lose more on them than I'm losing now. I mean, you can. They're not. So if it gaps down, I don't care. My losses are mitigated. So I got leaps on JD. So I mean, it could, but there are some people in shares. So what I'm trying to say is, if you do end up getting some protective puts, if it takes out the low of today, I would buy some protective puts on JD.com for December. And if it keeps trading higher, so it keeps trading up into like 24, then right before earnings, I would buy some protective puts also for December. So that's really about it on JD. Let's ensure that we have some type of protection over earnings just in case, and we'll take it from there. So that's JD.cab. Here's Microsoft, MSFT, and Microsoft. Chilling. I don't see a whole lot on Microsoft other than a potential breakdown if it takes out this low. Kind of similar to AMD, it has a little bit of a head and shoulders look. But remember, this thing could easily just turn into a double bottom like this and just start rallying out of here. So I'm not saying it's going to break down. We by no means have to break down. We probably won't break down. But if we do, we're going to get some lower continuations in the market, and also most likely on Microsoft. We could trade it right back down to this 200 simple moving average. It's going to make it fun for some day trading, I feel like. And obviously swing trades, that can be fun. We actually aren't doing horrific right now on some of the swing trades thanks to today. We'll come back and look at some. Obviously, we'll look at those more tomorrow. We'll look at them tomorrow, and we're also going to look at some of those swings today and just kind of come up with a plan for what needs to happen and what might happen going forward. But anyway, that's my plan on Microsoft, and that's my analysis on it. Next on the list is Micron Technology. So this is the one I did the weekly options newsletter on that got stopped out, and that's why I'm wearing the mustache. This protective put on MU, my plan is I'm going to buy some more, this time for December 37 if we break 36.71. So here's the weekly. It's an evening star reversal pattern. Has a little bit of a lower shadow. We got back below the 100 simple, and you got a covered call. I got a covered call at 50, which is just reducing the cost basis a little bit. And here's the daily chart. The daily chart, you got a little bit of a new white soldier today, so I do actually like that. I was thinking of maybe going bullish on Micron again if it breaks above that high. So I was considering it, contemplating it, still might. Try it one more time. So here's the hourly chart, and we're back to some support. So I was going to play it as a double bottom if it got above 38.75 and put my stop somewhere down here like 35 something. But if MU takes out 36.71, I'm just going to buy some more protective puts and just keep, I don't know, keep trading those until whatever happens, happens. That's it, though. Julian says Jeremy Mercury. Oh, man. The mustache. It's Ashley does not like it. She's not a fan. I think I've had 3 kisses in the last week. If anybody wants to. Falco says, better pick a winner for the one then. I know. That's what I'm saying. Tony says, has anyone told you they like it, though? One guy liked it, but he wears a constant mustache, so he doesn't count. He's always stashing it. Tony says he's a chronic liar. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. So good. So good, yet so bad. Before we hop over to BILI, let's go look at Blue Apron. Julian's talking about APRN. Blue Apron had earnings. And APRN, here's the daily, and they're down. So Blue Apron down only 2%. Let's see. Blue Apron cuts headcount by 4%, post drops in orders. The entry of Amazon.com into grocery service and meal kits business has added to the pressure. Total number of individuals who signed up for its service fell 25%, while the number of orders dropped 27%. That is not good. Falco says, have you used Blue Apron yet? Have we used Blue Apron yet, babe? No, we have not. We still have not used it. So someone gave me a free not a free membership. They gave me like a sign up for it, like, hey, try this out. And they wanted our credit card for it. And Ashley is scared to buy things online. So 100% true. She doesn't buy things online, so she's scared. So she didn't put in her card. I don't know if you guys can hear her. I'm just picking on her. But yeah, so we haven't tried it yet, is I guess what I'm saying. So here's gonna be my plan, Julian, for APRN. Horrible earnings. The fact it's not gapping down a lot is a good sign. Expect a fade tomorrow. If we don't get a fade tomorrow on Blue Apron, in some type of bullish movement. I'm going to take the stop from 45 cents, increase it all the way up to $1.01, and then I'm going to do like an add and reduce. So I'm going to set a stop here and then put in an entry right here and do like an add and reduce play. So if I get stopped out, I lose like 0.6 or 0.7 Rs. And then go from there. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to look at it again tomorrow. But the fact that they have horrible earnings and they're not gapping down just majestically is actually kind of a good sign. My girl Sharon Baldwin says, did you hear that Amazon's coming to Nashville? Southeastern hub, 5,000 employees. I did hear that. So, yeah, that's going to be great. A lot of new jobs. Property values in Nashville are going to keep climbing. Real estate is going to keep going up. Amazon, Nashville, bullish on both. Mike says that was separate from the headquarters thing. Yes, so this is a little bit of a different thing. So it's not quite full on headquarters. It's just a southeastern hub. Just a small hub, no big deal. An itty bitty hub. Yep, coming to Nash Vegas. It's going to be here. Let's go look at BILI, B-I-L-I. And BILI, stock jumps after announcement of partnership with Japanese mobile game company. Get a little bit of a morning star on BILI. This is just savage because this one got 2 pennies away from hitting Yates' target. That guy missing so many trades. Just pennies everywhere. All the pennies. So BILI, earnings is just right around the corner. You got a little bit of a morning star. You do have a nice one white soldier candle. Working on bouncing off the 100 simple. We're still forming a really nice base. So this one could be a fun stock. This is the one of the stronger Chinese companies as of recent, just because it hasn't been getting absolutely mangled. And that's really it. So let's see how we gap. Earnings is around the corner. We'll be looking at it next week, of course, and I don't really have anything on it presently. Alibaba was down yesterday and was up today. So BABA still hanging out. The warning sign on BABA, here's the warning sign. It's going to be a close below here. The close below 138.42, and we can start being a little concerned. That is this bullish candle right here. If we close below there and you want to buy some more puts, or you want to sell an at the money or an in the money covered call, you can. Or buy protected puts or whatever. I mean, just protect yourself at that particular spot. Here's what the weekly chart looks like. It's a nice low, nice little high wave bullish candle. I kind of dig it. You're bouncing off some support. Here's the daily time frame, and I like today's candle. Nice candle. So Falco bought back his covered call, so he sold it and then bought it back just a few days later. He's doing his best to get 10 Rs this month. You better get it, Falco. You better get it. 10 Rs, I'm coming for it. I'm hitting it. There's no question. It's going to happen. I'm just going to will it. Me and Charles are going to trade all day tomorrow and hit 5 Rs if we have to. 10 Rs is going to happen. So Alibaba, I like the one white soldier candle. I like the volume. I'm not a huge fan of the upper shadow, but the hourly chart doesn't look terrible. And I kind of dig it above the highs, above these highs right here. So it kind of pops above those highs, maybe a stop in that region. BABA could look pretty decent. Okay. Here's Googs, the Googsters, Googmeister, Googleoog, Google, G-O-O-G-L, and Google is hanging out the 100 simple on a weekly chart. You have a bullish high wave candle last week. And so far this week, you're getting an inside week on the Googster. So if anybody was going to go bullish, it would be above the high of this candle. 1074.10. You look to go bullish above there. Personally, I think it's a decent trade. I like it a little bit of a longer term. Here's the daily chart, and that's really just above the high of yesterday. So, you know, you still have 3 days left. I would kind of like to see how Google closes this week and then take it from there. Monthly chart, you know, we're hanging on a monthly. So personally, I would like a little bit more of a pullback on Google, maybe all the way down to 878. That'd be wonderful. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, realistically, I would really prefer this candle to close on a weekly chart, and then we'll get to see if it's still an inside candle and then play it from there. But I do like how it's trying to bounce off of the 100 simple on a weekly. This one might be one that I end up doing a credit spread on. I'm a fan of Google. It takes up a little bit of buying power, but it's fun. Facebook, ticker symbol FB. Pretty much a non-event today. So Facebook gapped up, threw up an upper shadow, and then ended down. Well, technically it ended up, but ended with a little bit of a bearish candle. Facebook, friends, still weak. Still some weakness out there on the Facebook. Of all the tech stocks, Facebook is one of the weaker ones right now. Facebook and Netflix are the ones I'm just kind of like, So FB, I mean, I think it's just going to be a slow, methodical race down to the 200. And then who knows what it's going to do down there. I don't think it's going to bounce exactly off the 200. It'll probably be either a little bit above or a little bit below. So Julian says, where'd you get into another protective put? So I've been talking about this one a lot recently. I mean, the last time I would have gotten triggered into a protective put would have been back on the 5th of November. If you already got into that one and already got in and got out again for a profit on the protective puts, you did. What a legend. Julian, just unstoppable. I would let it trade 2 or 3 hours tomorrow and see how the market holds. Watch it and then watch this to break down. So that it's kind of going to be market dependent a little bit. I wouldn't be rushing right now to start buying some protective puts. So don't lose sleep over it, because right now we're at a major support. But if we close below the low of today, tomorrow, yes, look to buy some puts, because today is a bullish inside day candle. Yep, inside day candle, bullish candle. So if we close below the low of today, I'd buy some more puts. Otherwise, give it a few hours tomorrow. Let's just see how this trend line in here holds, and see if we get a little bit of a bounce. If we bounce up here, then kind of roll over and break this support, you'll probably end up getting into some protective puts around 141.75. Sound good? Cool, man. Beauteous. Alrighty. Next on the list is Netflix. I mentioned Netflix and Facebook look a little weak, and they still kind of do. So Netflix has filled this gap to its completion. Jeff made a really good trade on Netflix, buying some puts back on the 8th of November. And now you have yourself a high wave candle on Netflix. Here's the weekly charts. And again, most charts look pretty similar presently. Yeah, guys, if we close below here, just going to keep on rocking lower. Now, could this turn into a double bottom? Yep, it'd be an ugly one, but very similar to the rest of the patterns I'm kind of looking at. I mean, we'll take a close or a good gap or a good bullish candle tomorrow. We'll have to see. Tomorrow's going to be a really exceptional day. Exceptional meaning important, integral. Tomorrow will be. Yep, so that's really all I got on Netflix. Monthly chart, I mean, monthly chart looks like death frozen over. This looks like a double top, retest of the double top. Man, I'm not bullish on Netflix right now. Ashley has 0 positions on Netflix. I have 0 positions on Netflix. I don't know, guys. I think it's going to go a little bit lower. But it's going to have to close first before 281.71 before it goes lower. Okay, next on the list, Amazon. Amazon. The news that they're coming to Nashville, no one cares. Here's the weekly charts and inside a week. Big bullish volume, these 2 candles, kind of a slower volume candle today. Again, we filled this gap. On Amazon, I still think this gap is going to get filled. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be pretty. But you got something like this, like this, like this. I don't really see anything that I like on Amazon personally. I'm just going to kind of keep waiting it out. Doesn't mean you can't play it. Obviously, I mean, you can play anything on the 15 or the hourly. And here's the 15-minute chart on Amazon, and we're just trading sideways, hanging out, some relatively okay, some support, some good volume, some good wicks. You know, so if you're looking at buying, again, to reiterate, I could easily see a decent bullish day for the markets tomorrow. I'll be in the morning room tomorrow from 12 to 2 Eastern. Got an interview tomorrow with the one, the only, Charles March. It's going to be legendary. And yeah, pretty pumped about it. So anyway, that's what I got on Amazon. My girl Jill says, not sure of the effect, but Brexit deal info due tomorrow to your time. Whoa, I lost track of that. Thanks for the update, Jill. Super helpful. So we're going to get some type of crazy gap over the next 2 or 3 days. I mean, it is most possible. I mean, it happened once. So let's find out. That's some good info to know. Very good info. Next on the list is Apple. And Apple today, I personally think, did exactly what everyone thought it was going to do. Went a little bit below the 200. You had 3 massive bearish candles in a row, gapped down, faded. Here's the 5-minute chart, and if you're playing the 5-minute time frame, you got yourself the very normal blue chip move. A gap down, fade, rotation back to the low of the day, and then a bounce. And then, obviously, you got kind of like a late afternoon rollover. So here's the hourly. I'm kind of thinking that tomorrow actually probably gaps up, and this should be the bottom on Apple for a little bit. I'm not saying it is, but if we close below 191, so if we close below the low of Apple, anytime in the near future, we're going to go a little bit lower. I kind of think this is what's about to happen on Apple. A little bit of an inside day tomorrow, a little bit of a retest, a little bit of a pop up into here, a little bit of a chill out, and then I don't really know. Do you think Charles's put sale expires worthless at 190? And here's the weekly chart. So the fact that we are closing below the low of this candle, this high wave candle, to me on Apple says that we're going to have some lower lows ahead of us. So for all my shareholders and owners, it's going to get a little worse before it gets a little bit better, most likely. And again, I kind of think that just about the market, just a little bit, nothing too crazy. I'll say we're going to go to zero town, but I think that we could pull back a little bit more. So if you are doing put sales, just go as far away as you can. Don't sell too much time. Do it shorter term so you can get good premium. Make sure they expire worthless, and play it that way. So that's my thoughts on Apple. Here's Square, ticker symbol SQ, and Square. Oh, you're gonna love this one. Falco says, shorter term is much better in this volatile market, in my opinion. I agree. I agree. So SQ, possible invert head and shoulders pattern, morning star type of pattern. Here was a brilliant double bottom on Square. Let's hide all these drawings and moving averages for a second. So I didn't get a chance to see this in time, but I wish I did. Wasn't watching it, but this was a beautiful trade down, trade up, pull back to that support. Fantastic, perfect, 10 out of 10. Would trade again, morning star pattern. I would trade that. Would trade. Entry here, stop down there, exit a little bit right here. Now, if you didn't get out and you didn't take that trade, you would have been obviously getting in after this candle closes above the neckline. You've done a limit buy, would have gotten filled on that candle, probably with a stop down here somewhere, and that also would have been a really good winner. So yeah, Square had a decent move today, and then late in the day, posted a glorious trap. Check this out. So made a new high, trade down, S-curve, made a new high. All the newbies who thought, hey, this is the time to get in. That's where they bought. And then there's your evening star reversal. Smash. Nice little evening star, and then it rolled over. Didn't trade Square today, but anyway. We'll see if it bounces. So far, I mean, it's getting kind of close to the worst case scenario of sorts. And I'm going to take all these lines off. Give me a second. Okay, take these lines off. And this was just me back trade. We were back trading it today. Learning some waves, learning some wave structure, getting some practice in. But yeah, this daily time frame, I mean, very nice inside candle. I still love this $60 put sale. Not afraid to get putting shares there. And realistically, you still got $11 to go. So even if it does break down to that support, great. I think it just chops around in here. So I'll be watching Square for a bullish move tomorrow. Okay, next on the list is Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs, with that huge breakdown yesterday, we got ourselves a very pretty bullish high wave candle. Very pretty bullish high wave candle, which means realistically, we could play this one in any direction. That would be the bullish, and this would be bearish. The bullish trade, I mean, would be after the 200 simple moving average. So it makes sense, right? Huge sell-off, making a lower low just to make sure everyone goes bearish there, just to get trapped. I can see the market doing that. And then, of course, you know, we trade sideways and then break down. We're going to put that on our list for tomorrow. It's already on the list for tomorrow. And just watch it really closely to see. Might even do might end up doing an official swing trade on that one. Obviously, we'll have to see what tomorrow brings, because Jill says a draft deal is being struck and taken to the UK cabinet on Wednesday. So again, with the Brexit situation, that could occur. and be moderately bearish. We'll see. All right, but we're going to watch Goldman Sachs closely here because really either direction I'm fine with. I'm fine with either play. Okay, FTCH. FTCH, Far-Fetch Limited. Nope. Just going to move on. Don't see anything great at all. Immediate pass. And then QTT. So QTT had that gap down yesterday. I really kind of wanted to see what it was going to do today again. And you got this nice, just barely lower low. Barely lower low. And then perfect doji. So if you're going to play the QTT, then I would say bullish. You can't really go bearish because it's still too early unless you wanted to. There's not a whole heck of a lot of downside left. Another Chinese stock. So you know, you know what you're getting into. A little bit of an aggressive play for sure. But high wave candle. You're looking for that gap to fill. Could be a bracket trade on QTT. Now, before we part ways, just going to fly through some of our swing trades. Hopefully, Procter & Gamble hits our target tomorrow of 93.70. So far, looks good. So fingers crossed. We've already looked at Delta. KLAC at one point in the day was decently up and then kind of like wavered a little bit. So I do like the volume on KLAC. That's pretty. Here's Fitbit, FIT, and Fitbit. Again, we're just trying this one. This is the first time I've traded Fitbit in forever. We had two separate half-an-hour entries trying to buy the pullback off the 100. I know it's a massive bullish candle on a weekly, and my mind tells me that it's probably going to pull back farther before it actually bounces. But if it starts doing that, then I'll just no longer be interested because it'll probably just keep hanging down to a support. So Fitbit only has a moderate amount of time to start bouncing before we get interested again. AAXN, this was a bearish swing trade that triggered today. So 51.10 was the limit sell. And we talked about that one in depth yesterday and the day before, which was Friday. So AAXN, we also have, we've already looked at Delta. And is there anything else? Yeah, Whirlpool, sorry. So WHR, Whirlpool also wasn't horrifically awful today. At one point in time, it looked decently bullish and then closed a little bit of an upper shadow, but I kind of like that pattern. My plan on Whirlpool will be if Whirlpool can close above and make a new high by end of week, should be okay. So we're going to put down the list for Thursday, come back to that one. And here's American Express, which Angela wants to look at, AXP. American Express, here's the weekly chart. Decent trend, right? So good weekly chart. Wave count, I'm getting a 1, 2, all of this is a wave 3, 4, 5. And inside the wave 5, I'm getting a 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be a 5 of 5 wave. So it should be pretty decently strong. You got a very ugly, like knee in second grade, double bottom. Neckline, we've retested. Moving averages are bullish. So similar to the market, if we bounce and get a bullish little move higher, this should be the overall time and location. Beautiful stuff, team. Well done, well served, well informationed. Tomorrow is Energy Wednesday. Sorry for the little slower start to today. Apologies for the microphones, but I guess my internet just wanted to test my patience. What do you want to look at tomorrow? So far, I have on the list Target, Walmart, Goldman Sachs, FNKO, Blue Apron, LNG, First Solar, ET, HK, BP. We'll throw XLE over here. Dollar General, got it. Okay, right on. I'm gonna be here tomorrow, same time, same place. Remember, folks, if you have any stocks that you want me to look at for you, just send them to me. The more information you want to give, the better. So if you say, hey, dude, look at this trade on the hourly chart. I want to do an hourly setup. Or, hey, man, I'm in a covered call. What do you think? Or, hey, I want to get into a covered call. What do you think? I will look at exactly whatever it is that you want me to look at. I'm here for you, folks. Thanks for being here. You're amazing. I'll see you later. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Bye.